Welcome to today's Lost Souls, where we bring you the most impactful and unforgettable stories from around the world. Today, we remember the lives of remarkable individuals whose legacies continue to inspire and resonate. From iconic musicians to trailblazing activists, join us as we celebrate their extraordinary contributions and bid farewell to those who have left an indelible mark on our lives. Stay tuned for a journey through their incredible stories.
Émilie Dequenne. Émilie Dequenne, the Belgian actress known for her radiant talent and raw emotional performances, passed away at the age of 42. A star who first stole the world's attention at Cannes, Émilie brought a unique depth to every role she portrayed, making her one of Europe's most respected performers. Born in Belgium, Belgium, in 1981, Émilie's love for acting ignited early in school theater productions, where her teachers quickly realized she had something special. She pursued drama passionately, never imagining that her breakout would come so soon, or so powerfully. At just 18 years old, she landed the lead in the 1999 film Rosetta, directed by the Dardenne brothers. Her heartbreaking performance as a young woman struggling for dignity in the margins of society earned her the Best Actress award at the Cannes Film Festival. The world took notice. What followed was a career full of risks, range, and quiet brilliance. Émilie refused to be boxed in. She could be devastatingly raw in one role, and luminously charming in the next. From the tense psychological layers in The Girl on the Train to the maternal warmth she brought to our children, which again earned her acclaim at Cannes, she chose roles that told real, complex, human stories. Émilie had a gift, not just for acting, but for understanding emotion in its most fragile form. She was never one to chase celebrity. Émilie lived a life of artistic integrity, often preferring intimate European films to global blockbusters. Still, her influence was undeniable. Directors admired her discipline. Co-stars cherished her generosity. Audiences, especially in France and Belgium, felt a deep connection to her, because Émilie never just acted. She revealed, with breathtaking honesty. Away from the camera, Émilie was a devoted mother, partner, and advocate. She championed mental health awareness and supported young artists trying to break into the industry without connections or privilege. She knew what it meant to be the outsider with nothing but passion to offer, and she never forgot that. Her passing leaves a silence in European cinema, a kind of quiet mourning that echoes through the very films she gave her soul to. Yet Émilie's legacy lives on in those frames, in the hearts she moved, and in the actors she inspired. She may be gone, but her performances remain, etched in light and celluloid, whispering the truth of human experience to generations to come. Pamela Bach. Pamela Bach, beloved actress and former wife of David Hasselhoff, passed away at the age of 60. A woman who radiated charm both on and off the screen, Pamela was more than just a television personality. She was a beacon of resilience, strength, and unwavering grace in the entertainment industry. Born Pamela Ann Weissenbach in Tulsa, Oklahoma, she grew up with a dream that seemed distant for a Midwestern girl: to act, to perform, and to be seen. That dream took her from the quiet neighborhoods of her childhood to the bright lights of Hollywood, where she would make her mark in film and television during the 1980s and 90s. Her most memorable roles came during her time on the internationally adored series Baywatch, where she not only appeared alongside her then-husband David Hasselhoff but also found her own identity on screen. Pamela wasn't just a supporting figure, she brought warmth, confidence, and relatability to her characters. Fans appreciated her subtle strength, her ability to express vulnerability, and her undeniable presence in a cast filled with big personalities. But her true impact was felt behind the scenes. Pamela was known for her unwavering dedication to her family, especially to her two daughters, Taylor Ann and Haley. While the limelight sometimes shined brighter on her personal life than she preferred, Pamela handled fame, and its scrutiny, with a quiet dignity. She often reminded those around her that love and loyalty mattered more than headlines. As her marriage to Hasselhoff ended in 2006, Pamela navigated the pain of public divorce with remarkable resilience. She chose to step back from acting, focusing instead on healing, motherhood, and advocacy work. She became involved in several charitable causes, particularly those supporting women and children facing domestic struggles. Having known hardship herself, she wanted to help others find their voice. Her later years were spent in quieter reflection, surrounded by close friends, family, and the daughters who adored her. Those who knew her best say she never lost her sense of humor or her belief in love. She remained graceful, kind, and full of life until the very end. Pamela Bach's passing marks the loss of a woman who brought beauty and sincerity to every stage of her life. Her legacy lives on in the hearts of her daughters, in the memories of fans, and in the lives she touched when no cameras were rolling. Roy Ayers. Roy Ayers, the legendary vibraphonist, composer, and pioneer of jazz funk, passed away at the age of 83. Known affectionately as the godfather of neo-soul, Roy left behind a musical legacy that bridged generations, genres, and cultures. His unique sound helped shape the evolution of jazz, R&B, hip-hop, and soul, forever embedding his rhythms into the heartbeat of modern music. Born in Los Angeles in 1940, Roy grew up in a home filled with music. His parents, both deeply musical, exposed him to jazz at an early age. But it was when he was 5 years old and received a pair of vibraphone mallets as a gift from Lionel Hampton, the jazz great himself, that his destiny began to take form. By the time he reached high school, Roy was already captivating audiences with his effortless command of the vibraphone. His early career began in traditional jazz, playing with greats like Herbie Mann. But Roy quickly found his voice in the fusion of funk and jazz, leading to the creation of his band Roy Ayers' ubiquity in the 1970s. With tracks like Everybody Loves the Sunshine and Sear Chin, Ayers delivered a signature blend of melodic vibraphone grooves, soulful vocals, and smooth rhythms. His music spoke of love, peace, and the experience of Black culture in America, resonating with listeners across the globe. Roy's influence extended far beyond the jazz scene. His music became a goldmine for hip-hop artists in the 1980s and 90s. Groups like A Tribe Called Quest, Mary J. Blige, Erykah Badu, and The Roots sampled his tracks, giving new life to his classic grooves and introducing them to younger generations. Even as musical styles changed, Roy's sound remained timeless, constantly reinvented but never forgotten. Beyond his technical mastery, Roy was known for his warmth and wisdom. He mentored countless young musicians and always made time to encourage up-and-coming artists. His concerts were more than performances, they were celebrations of rhythm, soul, and connection. In his final years, Roy continued to tour, collaborate, and inspire. He believed music was a healing force, and he lived that truth every time he stepped on stage. Fans around the world mourn his passing, but his music, vibrant, rich, and eternal, remains. Roy Ayers didn't just play music, he moved the world with it. Angie Stone. Angie Stone, the soul-stirring singer, songwriter, and actress who became one of the leading voices in the neo-soul movement, has passed away at the age of 62. With a voice that could heal pain and lyrics that spoke to the deepest corners of the human heart, Angie's influence stretched far beyond music. She was a beacon of strength, authenticity, and timeless artistry. Born Angela Laverne Brown in Columbia, South Carolina, in 1961, Angie's love for music began in the church. Gospel shaped her early years, giving her a spiritual foundation that echoed in every note she would later sing. In the late 1970s, she started her music journey as a member of The Sequence, one of the first female rap groups, breaking ground in a male-dominated industry. Their hit, Funk You Up, became one of the early anthems of hip-hop and proved that Angie had the fire and talent to make waves. But it was in the late 90s and early 2000s that Angie Stone truly found her calling as a solo artist. Albums like Black Diamond and Mahogany Soul delivered hit after hit, including the unforgettable No More Rain, In This Cloud, and Brother. Her voice, rich, smoky, and full of soul, connected with audiences on a deep emotional level. Angie's music wasn't just entertainment, it was therapy for the soul. She wrote from a place of realness, drawing on personal experiences, heartbreak, joy, and the struggles of Black womanhood. Her lyrics empowered many who felt unseen and unheard, and her songs became soundtracks for those navigating love, loss, and self-discovery. Angie wasn't afraid to be vulnerable, and in doing so, she gave others permission to be the same. Beyond her music, Angie appeared in several films and television shows, where her charisma and sincerity shone just as brightly. She remained a strong advocate for body positivity, women's rights, and the celebration of soul music's roots. Despite facing health challenges and personal setbacks throughout her life, Angie never stopped creating or sharing her voice with the world. Her passing leaves a deep void in the world of music, but her legacy is lasting. Angie Stone's artistry reminded us all of the beauty in being true to oneself. She may have left this world, but her songs, each one a piece of her heart, will live on forever. Leslie Charleson. Leslie Charleson, the beloved actress best known for her decades-long role as Dr. Monica Quartermaine on the iconic soap opera General Hospital, has passed away at the age of 79. Her death marks the end of an era in daytime television, leaving behind a legacy of heartfelt performances, unwavering dedication, and a character that became family to millions of viewers. Born on February 22, 1945, in Kansas City, Missouri, Leslie found her love for acting at a young age. She moved to New York in pursuit of a dream, and it wasn't long before her talent and poise caught the attention of casting directors. Early roles in daytime dramas like Love Is a Many Splendored Thing showcased her natural grace, intelligence, and emotional depth. But it was in 1977, when she first stepped into the shoes of Dr. Monica Quartermaine, that she would find the role that would define her career. For nearly 5 decades, Leslie brought Monica to life with compassion, strength, and a deep understanding of the human condition. Fans watched her character evolve from a driven young doctor to a wise matriarch, surviving heartbreak, betrayal, family tragedies, and personal growth. Through it all, Leslie gave Monica a soul, a backbone, and a beating heart that audiences connected to like a member of their own family. Off-screen, Leslie was known for her humility, professionalism, and fierce loyalty to her craft. She formed deep friendships with her castmates and earned the respect of everyone she worked with. Colleagues spoke of her kindness, her wit, and the rare way she could elevate a scene simply with a glance or a pause. She didn't seek the spotlight. Instead, she let her work speak for itself, and it spoke volumes. Though her career was most closely tied to General Hospital, Leslie's influence reached far beyond one show. She helped pave the way for women in television, playing a character who was both deeply feminine and remarkably strong in a time when such portrayals were rare. Her fans remained loyal for decades, following every twist and turn of Monica's life, because they knew Leslie would always bring truth and heart to the screen. In her later years, even as health challenges limited her appearances, Leslie never lost her passion for storytelling. She leaves behind a body of work that spans generations, and a role that will forever be etched in the history of daytime TV. Sam Moore. Sam Moore, one half of the legendary soul duo Sam and Dave, has passed away at the age of 88. His unmistakable voice, fiery performances, and deep contributions to soul music helped shape the sound of a generation and left an indelible mark on the history of American music. With his passing, the world loses not just a singer but a symbol of an era defined by passion, rhythm, and the unshakable power of a voice that could move mountains. Born on October 12, 1935, in Miami, Florida, Sam Moore grew up singing gospel in the church. A foundation that would go on to define his explosive, heartfelt singing style. It was in the early 1960s that fate introduced him to Dave Prater, and together, the two created magic. Known as Sam and Dave, their chemistry was electric, both on stage and in the studio. They quickly signed with Stax Records and found success with songs that would become staples of soul music. Their biggest hit, Soul Man, released in 1967, wasn't just a chart topper, it became an anthem of resilience, pride, and Black empowerment. With Sam's soaring tenor leading the charge, the song became synonymous with the civil rights era, giving voice to a people and a struggle. Alongside other hits like Hold On, I'm Comin', and I Thank You, Sam's voice and charisma made every performance unforgettable. What made Sam Moore truly special wasn't just the power of his voice but the raw emotion behind it. Every note he sang felt lived in, born from pain, joy, love, and longing. His stage presence was unmatched, commanding yet humble, fierce yet deeply human. Even after Sam and Dave parted ways, Moore continued performing, collaborating with artists like Bruce Springsteen, Billy Preston, and Mariah Carey, showing that great talent has no expiration. In his later years, Sam became a vocal advocate for artists' rights, speaking openly about the exploitation many black musicians faced in the 20th century. He used his legacy to inspire and protect younger generations, reminding them that music is a gift that must be respected and preserved. Despite the ups and downs of fame, Sam always stayed true to the music. With numerous Grammy nominations, a Grammy Lifetime Achievement Award, and a Rock and Roll Hall of Fame induction to his name, Sam Moore leaves behind more than a legacy, he leaves behind a feeling. That voice, once called the greatest voice in soul music, will echo for generations.
Joe Louis Walker. Joe Louis Walker, the legendary blues guitarist, singer, and songwriter, passed away at the age of 74. A true torchbearer of the American blues tradition, Joe spent over 6 decades breathing fire and soul into every note he played, carrying forward the legacies of the genre's greats while carving out a powerful, unique voice of his own. Born on December 25, 1949, in San Francisco, Walker was raised in a musical household surrounded by gospel, blues, and soul. By the time he was 14, he was already playing guitar professionally. In his youth, he befriended many blues legends, among them Mike Bloomfield, John Lee Hooker, and B.B. King. And by his early 20s, he had shared stages with iconic figures like Muddy Waters and Jimi Hendrix. But Joe was never just imitating his heroes. He was building a sound that would become unmistakably his own. In the 1970s, Joe took an unexpected step away from the stage, enrolling at San Francisco State University and earning a degree in music and English. It was during this period of reflection that he deepened his understanding of blues roots and sought to refine his craft. When he returned to recording in the mid-1980s, he came back not just as a blues guitarist, but as a force of nature. His 1986 comeback album, Cold as the Night, reintroduced Joe to the world. Over the next several decades, he released more than 24 albums, each a vibrant blend of raw blues, gospel, rock, funk, and soul. His guitar tone, sharp, emotional, and explosive, became instantly recognizable. But it wasn't just about the licks. Joe's voice, gritty and full of heart, carried stories of pain, joy, struggle, and redemption. Joe Louis Walker was not just a performer. He was a historian, a teacher, and a preacher of the blues. He earned 4 Blues Music Awards, was inducted into the Blues Hall of Fame, and received multiple Grammy nominations. Yet, despite the accolades, he remained humble, always more focused on honoring the music than chasing fame. Those who knew him personally described Joe as deeply spiritual, intelligent, and generous with his time. He mentored younger musicians, collaborated across genres, and never stopped exploring new musical terrain. Even into his 70s, he was touring, recording, and performing with the same fiery intensity he showed as a teenager. Joe Louis Walker's passing is a massive loss to the world of music. His guitar may now be silent, but the echoes of his blues, deep, soulful, and eternal, will live on. Jim Dent, the once celebrated sports writer and author known for his gripping football stories and best-selling books, passed away at the age of 69. His life was a blend of brilliance and darkness, marked by literary success, personal battles, and ultimately a cautionary tale of talent consumed by demons. Dent's words once inspired millions, but his own life unraveled in a way that many of his readers could never have imagined. Born in 1955, Jim Dent grew up with a deep passion for sports. Raised in Texas, where football isn't just a game but a religion, he naturally gravitated towards storytelling about the sport. He began his career as a journalist, eventually working for top newspapers like the Dallas Times-Herald and Fort Worth Star-Telegram, where his detailed and emotional sports writing quickly stood out. His insight into the human side of athletics made him one of the most respected voices in the press box. Jim's most famous work, The Junction Boys, detailed the grueling 1954 Texas A&M football training camp under Coach Bear Bryant. The book became a national sensation and was later adapted into a TV movie by ESPN. He followed it with several more sports biographies and narratives that further established his reputation as a master of football history. But behind his professional success, Dent harbored a growing personal crisis, one he couldn't outrun. His long battle with alcoholism led to numerous legal issues, including a staggering number of DWI arrests that ultimately derailed his career and landed him in prison. The same man who wrote about heroism and perseverance on the gridiron struggled to conquer his own demons off the field. Even as his legal troubles mounted, Some of his closest friends and fans held on to the hope that he might one day return to writing and redeem himself. He made attempts to get back on track, expressing remorse and recognizing the pain his actions had caused to others and himself. But the shadow of his past proved too large to escape entirely. Jim Dent's story is a tragic reminder of how talent alone cannot save a person from inner turmoil. He had the gift of storytelling, the respect of his peers, and the love of fans, but addiction stole it all away. His legacy is complicated. On one hand, his books remain some of the most compelling works ever written on American football. On the other, his personal downfall remains a powerful lesson about accountability, choices, and redemption that never fully came. James Foley. James Foley, an American journalist and war correspondent known for his fearless reporting in some of the world's most dangerous conflict zones, passed away tragically at the age of 40. His death shook not just the journalism world, but also awakened the global conscience to the brutal risks faced by those who pursue the truth. James wasn't just a reporter. He was a storyteller, a humanitarian, and a brave soul who believed in giving a voice to the voiceless, even in the darkest corners of the world. Born in Evanston, Illinois, James grew up in a tight-knit Catholic family, the oldest of 5 siblings. He was raised on strong values: compassion, justice, and courage, which would later define his life's mission. After studying history at Marquette University and earning a Master of Fine Arts in Writing from the University of Massachusetts, he found his calling in journalism. He saw it not just as a profession, but as a responsibility. James first gained attention for his work in Iraq, Afghanistan, and Libya. His storytelling style wasn't driven by sensationalism, it was powered by empathy. He embedded himself with civilians, lived among them, listened to their stories, and reported with dignity and depth. When he was first captured in Libya in 2011 while covering the civil war, it did little to shake his resolve. In fact, once released, he returned to the field even more determined to share the stories the world ignored. In 2012, while covering the Syrian civil war, James was abducted again, this time by extremist militants. For nearly 2 years, he remained in captivity. Yet even in the face of fear and isolation, fellow hostages later revealed that James continued to uplift others, sharing food, organizing games, and praying for those around him. His strength and compassion never wavered. His death in 2014 was a moment of collective mourning and outrage. But more than that, it was a reminder of the courage it takes to reveal the truths we often choose to ignore. James paid the ultimate price for his commitment to telling the stories that mattered. In his honor, the James W. Foley Legacy Foundation was created to advocate for the freedom and safety of journalists around the world. His legacy is not just in the articles he wrote or the lives he touched, but in the enduring fight for truth and justice he championed with every breath. James Foley died doing what he believed in, telling the truth, and through that truth, he will never be forgotten.